We're going to call our city council meeting for December the 14th, 2017 to order. I'll ask that you please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. God, we thank you for this day, the blessings that you have bestowed upon us, the love that you have taught us to have in our hearts for one another. As we go into this Christmas season, may, no matter what faith or belief we have, we share the spirit of love, the spirit of caring, and the spirit of giving. Give us wisdom and understanding in all that we say and all that we do. In thy precious name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. I'm going to ask Anee Jenkins, Regional 3 Child Welfare Services Director, and Sylvia Mitchum, Charleston County Department of Social Services, to please come forward. Madam Clerk.
A proclamation. Whereas the family serving as the primary source of love, identity, self-esteem, and support is the very foundation of our communities and our state. And whereas in North Charleston there are many children and youth in foster care being provided with a safe, secure, and stable home, along with the compassion and nurture of a foster family. And whereas all young people in foster care need a meaningful connection to a caring adult who becomes a supportive and lasting presence in their lives. And whereas foster, kinship, and adoptive families who open their homes and hearts and support children whose families are in crisis play a vital role in helping children and families heal and reconnect, thereby launching young people into successful adulthood. And whereas dedicated foster families frequently adopt foster children, resulting in a greater need for more foster families. And whereas there are numerous individuals and corporations who work to increase public awareness of the needs of children in and leaving foster care, as well as the enduring and valuable contribution of foster parents. The foster care system is only as good as those who choose to be part of it. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, R. Keith Summey, Mayor of the City of North Charleston, do hereby proclaim December 2017 as Foster Care Month in North Charleston and urge all citizens to come forward and do something positive that will help change a lifetime for children and youth in foster care.
When I was in the 3rd grade growing up in Walterboro, my mother became very ill, and basically the 3 children had to be farmed out. And my brother he was the youngest, 6 years younger than me, and he was put with my grandmother and grandfather. And my older sister was put with my aunt and uncle. Well, they didn't have anybody for me in the family, so I stayed with a highway patrolman and his wife, Patrolman Grooms in Walterboro. The stability they gave me for that 3 months I will never forget, because I remember the first couple of weeks I would lay in the bed and cry at night because I felt like I'd been abandoned by my family, not knowing as a child. But the strength that they came and gave me helped mold me into the person that I am today. Just the other night, there's a young lady that is a kindergarten teacher at my granddaughter's school. My granddaughter's in her class. and she has 3 of her own children, ranging in age from freshman in high school down. She has taken in 5 children under foster care, all brothers and sisters, has adopted the first 2, and plans on adopting the other 3. And here she was the other night. They were doing a program, and she had the small child in the new things they wear now with the baby in front, and one hanging on her dress tail as she was working with these kids in kindergarten. And the thought came to me that without people who are willing to care for those children that don't have a home, what would I had done, and what would these 5 kids do? So we salute the foster care program and all that it does to enrich the lives of children that need, first of all, guidance, but more than anything, love. And we thank you for what y'all do. Say a few words.
I thank you so much. It is an honor for me to stand here tonight with Honorable Mayor Summey and the County Council, the City Council, excuse me, that y'all are supporting us in this endeavor. It really does help children. You know, we have an obligation to the children to make sure that they grow up in a loving, nurturing environment. And I thank y'all for everything. This community is wonderful. They do a lot for our foster kids, and I cannot say thank you enough. And thank you for having us tonight, and happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, next we have the recognition of our middle school students, athletes. T.J. Roston, Deputy Director, who was just voted to be president. You beat Donald Trump? Or?
No, sir.
Oh.
Yes,
All right, president of what, TJ?
The State Recreation and Parks Association.
All right. Little fellow from North Charleston. We do appreciate it and appreciate what you do in working with our young people and our children. And I'm going to let y'all take over and do the recognition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I want to also thank members of council for giving us a few minutes tonight to recognize some of our student athletes. It's always very easy to recognize our athletes when they win a trophy or win a game or whatnot, but that's not what we're here for tonight. We want to recognize some student athletes for their academic achievements as well as their leadership on their teams and in their classrooms. So let me also introduce Miss Edwina Peterson. She's our middle school athletic coordinator. She puts on the program, works with these students and these administrators day in and day out, so we want to thank her so much. Mr. Ed Barfield, our recreation director, who gives us all the guidance and resources to do what we do to provide these services for our citizens of the city. So what we want to do tonight, we have 20 students here. Well, we might be missing a few. They're at home studying. That's why they got this award. So what we have done, we've worked with 2 of the local businesses and have named some awards. One of the awards is called our Raising Cane's Academic Award, going to the student athlete from each school for their respective sport for their grade point average. And the second award for each student is going to be our Dick's Sporting Goods Leadership Award, which was selected by the coach of that team for that student's behavior, leadership on and off the field. So when we announce your name, if you would please just come on up, receive your certificate. We are getting the items from Dick's Sporting Goods and Raising Cane's next week, so we will deliver those to your school when we receive those. And if I could please ask that we just kind of hold our applause till the end. That way everybody gets to hear their name called. So first from Jerry Zucker Middle School, Kinlay Mines.
Studying.
Yep. Addis Cornell. Kentrell Simmons. James Levine. Priceless Johnson. And Denise Legree. Hope I said that right. Okay, now from Northwoods Middle School, we have Zakira Broughton. Lakita Johnson, Kassara Stewart, Chelsea Reed, Dorian Townsend, and Aiden Murray. I'd also at this time like to also announce that Principal Colleen Kanawa and Assistant Principal James Tomasello are also with us tonight. If you could raise your hand. Thank y'all very much for being here. From Military Magnet, we have Earl Wright, Isaiah Mitchell, and also in attendance from Military Magnet is Sergeant White. You could also raise your hand. Thank you for being here today. From Morningside, Evander Jones, Ricardo Bailey, Treasure Irvin, and Shania Rivers. And Assistant Principal Herbert Singleton is also here. Thank you very much for being here, sir. And our last two from Deer Park Middle School, we have Lachey Watson and Janiyah Johnson. If we could give a big round of applause to all these student athletes. I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of our schools, being a part of our community, and for what you do both on and off the field. Keep up the good work. I'm sure the mayor would like to say a few words to you as well.
Well, I can see up here, and for the ones that weren't able to get here, the future of North Charleston's in good hands. And one of these days you'll be sitting up here in this council seat in this role, or running the rec department, or doing the things that make the quality of life better for all of us. I'm so proud that you're taking advantage of the educational opportunities that you have to make your life better and to make those lives better that surround you as well. I know your parents are extremely proud. God bless you and have a Merry Christmas.
Mayor Summy,
yes,
every time these young people come up, you know, we never say anything about the parents at,
Where are the
at our
parents?
meetings.
All right.
But
Again, the principals and folks that work with these kids, when we had the Christmas tree lighting, we had the kids from Academic Magnet, their choir, sang, and I sang with them, and they sort of wondered what I was doing back there, standing with them. And I said, y'all need to understand, your school is where I graduated from high school. It was Jacor High School Eagles then. Now it's the Military Magnet Eagles. So I'm one of you Eagles. Just because I'm old don't mean I can't sing with you. But we had a great time together, and that's what makes this community we have a great community, is the ability to work together and share life together. And so thank each of you, parents and those in the education field, for getting our kids where they need to be. God bless you.
young men and women, I can't express how proud I am of all of you. And those that didn't attend tonight, most people always think, oh, they just go play sport. But knowing that you're using your brains along with the sports and everything else you're doing and being such beautiful, sweet children, please continue doing everything you're doing. Don't let nobody pull you in the wrong direction, because we are looking at another Mrs. Obama, Mr. Obama. We need y'all. Please continue doing everything you're doing and keep up the good grades. I am so proud of y'all.
Thank you. TJ, y'all taking them out to eat?
That's what the gift cards are for.
Okay, brother. Just want to make sure they were being taken care of. The next item we have is the introduction of our new employees. One of them, I can't pronounce his last name, and he works for me, but we will give it a shot. But he is the new guy that's doing our communications now for the city and is doing an excellent job for us already. and Anthony P. Tassarodi. We call him Tony. Glad to have him on board. He came to us from one of the local TV stations, which means it's a great movement up for him to come to the city. We all know that. From the police, Travis M. Lamphere and Travis R. Smith. Public Works, Harold L. Smalls. Harold with us? Here he comes. And from Recreation, Ryan J. Scott and Carrie E. Stringer. With us tonight? Here they come. This is an opportunity we try to give our new employees to come before City Council and the public that we can welcome you on board as members of the team. We're more like a family. We hope that you enjoy your stay with us. It's a great opportunity to make a living making life better for other people. And I think that's what public service is all about. We salute you for choosing to come to work for the city. And we look forward to working together for many years to enhance the quality of life of all our people. If you'll turn around and look at your council people, these are the folks that approve your budget, to give you the money that we have to operate on. They're also working in each of their individual districts to provide quality of service as well. Anytime you see them, they will always interested in what you're doing and what you're trying to do to make our community better. Welcome aboard to Team North Charleston. God bless you, and we hope we have many years together. Thank y'all. Madam Clerk.
Come on back.
One of the things that we do now is we have started going on Facebook a good bit to get our message out to the citizens of North Charleston so that when you're dealing with the media, unfortunately, they can't give the full story from our point of view. They have so much they have to write, and we don't get it all in sometimes. This latest one that we just put together this week, we'd like to present to council tonight prior to it going out. It's already out? All right, you gonna play it for us? Thank you then.
What you have is a goal to get the criminal element off of the street that is using guns to violate the laws of the city and the state of South Carolina. So the target is the criminal element and those who decide to carry guns illegally on the streets and use those guns as a part of furthering their criminal element. Putting police work and community work together. It is bringing those people who want to see the guns off the street and using the information that they provide to us, and then go out and seek those people who they have identified that are carrying the illegal guns.
I do believe it's making a difference personally. The officers that are under my command, like I said, I can't say enough about them because they're doing a dangerous job as it is, but they were picked for this gun unit. Clearly the danger and the risk is heightened. You know, we get into a lot of foot chases, and you know, when you're dealing with people with guns, there's always that propensity for violence. If it was happening in my neighborhood, I clearly would want to be a part of solving the problem and cleaning it up. And you know, with being able to be anonymous, that's the biggest thing. You can call in, don't have to give a name, don't even have to give a callback number. Just provide the information of who you believe is potentially carrying weapons within a community or involved in shootings, and then we'll follow up on the lead. Any gun off the street is obviously a potential murder that I believe we have prevented.
I want to congratulate our police department. In fewer traffic stops, we have taken more guns off of the street this year than any other time in the history of the city. Over 600 weapons have been taken off the street. Yet we have more homicides than we've ever had. We need help. We need the judges to help. We need your help as a community to give us information on where these guns are coming from, who's got them. We can then let you be safe and protected. We're not going to use your name, but the life you save in your community could be you or a member of your family or someone you truly love. That's our latest message that we're sending out about taking guns off the street. We had another homicide last night, and so that number is well above the highest rate we've ever had, even though we've taken 700 guns off the street. And we do need the public's help. You know, every time someone gets killed in a neighborhood, it affects 2 families. And it's horrible. And we need to stop that from happening so parents can enjoy their kids, children can enjoy their parents, and life can continue to move on. So we encourage folks to work with us to help us eliminate the possibility of these homicides happening in our community. But we'll be continuing putting out different little messages along the time that moves so that we can encourage folks to be a part of what we're trying to do. Okay, let's move forward to the printed agenda.
Item 1 is a request to approve the minutes of the November 21st, 2017 City Council meeting.
Move approval.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions or changes? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jamison?
Yes.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Aye. Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 2 is the final reading and a public hearing for an ordinance rezoning the property at 4275 O'Hare Avenue, Charleston County, TMS 470168080, from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Multifamily Residential, and concurrently amend the comprehensive plan future land use map for the same parcel, changing it from single family traditional to multifamily residential in Council District 7.
This is an advertised public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and give us your remark. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come forward over here, please, and excuse us, give your name and address for us, please, sir.
Floyd Simmons, actually 1015 Aragon Street. I'm trying to find out what's going to be the result on somebody that lives near this new development, changing from a single family to I want to know what the taxes from a single to mother to family.
It's
changing.
not, you're talking about the houses near it?
Yes, sir.
It won't affect, your house will be still based on the same property value.
Okay.
It won't affect your taxes at all.
All right.
If it does, call me and I'll make Mr. King pay the difference.
All right. Got your word.
Mayor, I think you need to tell him that they put in 19 townhouses there. 19 townhouses are going in there. There's a recommendation here for denial, and so I want to move for that.
This is the one on
O'Hare.
O'Hare?
Yeah.
All right, I think it's in your district.
Yeah,
Can you support it?
yes.
Thank you, sir.
We, I think, was 8-2 voted on in the last meeting.
Planning board and staff have recommended now.
All right, we have a motion to deny it. Mr. King?
Motion to, he just said it.
Mr. King made a motion to deny it. Do we have a second? Hearing none, do we have a motion for approval?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Ms. Jameson, motion is to approve the rezoning.
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King?
No.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries for final reading. Item 3 is a resolution for the annexation of Section 52P, a portion of TMS 30100, Lot 797.
Have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Ms. Jameson?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4 is the first reading of an ordinance annexing an area known as 52P in Charleston County, TMS 30100000797, and make it part of the present City Council District 9, zoned AG Agricultural District.
Motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, this piece of property is gonna cost the city over $1 million in legal fees. We got the documents here, there's your legal stuff right there. I don't know where it's worth that for us. Of course, I am opposed to it because of the service being so far away from the city of North Charleston. It's across West Ashland. You do it by these tax map numbers. We need to put in the thing there where the property's located. People don't know where the tax map number unless they got access.
I think the council members know because of discussion where this property is located. They're the ones voting. The issue, Mr. King, and I don't know where you are coming from on your thing. The last time I checked, the city of Charleston came down the river and went and annexed a place called Daniel Island and other things, and nobody in North Charleston complained about it. But when people come to us and want us to annex...
I complained about it, Mayor. You wasn't mayor then either.
No, I wasn't mayor then. You might have complained about it, but didn't get anywhere.
You had Daniel Island if you'd been mayor.
But the fact of the matter is, these folks have come to us for this annexation. I don't think you'll see in any of the annexations we've done west of Ashley will be any great benefit to the city of North Charleston while I'm mayor. But we have to prepare for the future. We have to have the ability to grow. You show me the communities that cannot grow, and I will show you the communities that end up cutting service or raising taxes. One of the two. And so we have to have the ability to grow. This is one of those abilities. Undoubtedly, these people didn't want to be in the city of Charleston, and I heard all the junk today about the flooding and all that stuff over there. They've got the flooding. We didn't create it. And when we develop something, we have to go through every standard through the state and everybody else for us to do the proper drainage that makes that property not flood. But if they think that we should come over there and repair their drainage, they're receiving the taxes for that. They need to fix their own problems.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
My concern about this is the jingoism that seems to be attending our initiative. There seems to be a rush to a conclusion that we're annexing, and that means that we've got a development plan. We don't have a development plan. Is that correct?
We have seen no development plan by anyone.
and I know we can all anticipate, as Mr. King has pointed out, that there's going to be some litigation. I doubt it's going to be $1 million of legal fees, but there is going to be some litigation. If, in fact, we are successful, it is at that point that we will be entertaining any future development plans. Mr. Mayor, there seems to be, with almost borderline condescension, some doubt that we can handle that. I mean, we're smart enough to address flooding issues, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
We're smart enough to address traffic issues, aren't we?
If you remember when we annexed our properties up on Dorchester Road, we faced the same issues from folks in Dorchester County at that time, thinking that North Charleston, for some reason, doesn't have the capability to do things in a proper manner, in a proper fashion. And I think we're very proud of the things that has happened in the Dorchester Road corridor in Dorchester County under the city's leadership and guidance. I think it's become an asset to Dorchester County, and I think if you would ask Dorchester County about it today, they would say that. It's just that, you know, we're a young city. I mean, let's face the facts of life. We weren't created until 1972, and that's when we developed the rights that we could actually, as a city, start making changes and giving the ability for us to grow. We were facing, when I became mayor 23 years ago, we were facing base closure that had already been approved, and this mayor, through the work of this council over the years, which has changed members, but all of them have been supportive in trying to create a better quality of life for all the people who live in the city of North Charleston. And any advanced growth that we do, creating a quality of life for those folks as well. And I don't think, it almost makes you feel like sometimes our integrity is being questioned, and I kind of resent it, but at the same time, I understand people's fears. We are the only people that have taken property on our side of the river across from the garden areas and put a protective strip which prohibited the owners of that property from developing that would make the properties in the garden areas have visibility of the developments across the way. We're the only people who have ever done that. I don't think we ever got a thank you. I don't think we ever said, well, these folks are working with us for a quality of life for all people. But at the end of the day, I know this will be challenged in the courts, and I really don't think y'all made $1 million off that thing, did you?
Oh, sadly, no.
Okay. But, you know, the bottom line is some things are worth fighting for. And this will set rules and precedent for the future. And I think that if any group or the city of Charleston wish to challenge us in this endeavor, we look forward to facing that challenge in a friendly manner to try to continue to make our city grow and become what it needs to be for the future.
Sure, with the emphasis on the friendly manner. But the most important point is this is annexation. We understand there's going to be a legal challenge. That's one step. If we're successful, then our work begins. And I think the message that we need to convey is that we are confident we're up to that challenge of getting it right.
And I think if people want to look at the comparisons, I think there was about a 25-year battle between James Island and the city of Charleston on annexations. And, you know, all that's worked out and everybody's working together. The bottom line is we think that we have the ability to create quality of life for all communities that are involved in the city to the best ability that we can with what we have to work with. Okay, motion. Call the question.
Some reservations about the service.
Sir?
Services. Look how far we have to go to service this property. Says it will be servicing immediately.
Yes, sir, we will be, but we have working relationships with the fire services over there that are with our fire services, and they respond the same time we do. It's Charleston County EMS, which is the same we have now, and there's nobody living on any of these properties, so I don't think we have a large. Well, when you have development, yes, we will, but we also have a great working relationship with the Charleston County Sheriff's Department. They're going to be getting the same services that they're getting today until it is developed to the point that we would need to build a fire station and a police substation. Same services. Any other questions? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Ms. Jamison?
No.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor Summy.
Yes, sir.
May I just say, I just want to my supporting vote on this. You know, it's a challenging issue, and as you've named, it's going to be challenged in court, and so be it. But, you know, I think what a big challenge is that individuals have rights. And this is an individual that has approached our city. And when we say annexation, that's a totally contrasting word to condemnation. And I say that if this individual is desirous to be a part of this city for what it believes the services it can provide, then that person's got rights. And we as a body should consider both sides. And, you know, if we're challenged, we're challenged. But that's what the courts are for, and that's real my rationale for supporting this, is because I believe property owners have rights. Whether it's a single property owner, government should not always say no because they don't like it.
Absolutely. Any other comments before we vote? Clerk, please call the roll.
I think
We already did. Okay, thank you. You were commenting.
It was approved for first reading.
Got you. Very good. All right, please continue.
That would be item 5, which is the first reading of an ordinance to rezone the property at 3255 Meeting Street Road, Charleston County TMS 469-11-00200 from R1 Single Family Residential to B2 General Business, and concurrently amending the comprehensive plan future land use map for the same parcel, changing it from single family traditional to major business retail in Council District 10.
Eileen?
Good evening. This is the proposed rezoning of 3255 Meeting Street Road. It is currently zoned R1 and is proposed for rezoning to B2. The property owner is McCourt Investments LLC, represented by, the applicant is Howard Lee Gatch III. Area of the property is just over 3,400 square feet, annexed in 1972 and a part of Council District 10. This is an area of the property showing its location along Meeting Street Road in the Pettigrew neighborhood. Excuse me. The next slide shows that this parcel is zoned R1, as are all of the parcels in its particular block. It's kind of that faded out color on the screen. Across the street, across Meeting Street Road, we have B2 in the dark red, and also on the far side of
Reynolds.
Okay. I'm not sure what street that is, but Reynolds. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. And the next slide shows that the future land use for the parcel is single-family traditional, as it is for the entire block, which of course supports the existing R1 zoning. The subject parcel, located along Meeting Street Road, is in the Pettigrew neighborhood and is occupied by a building comprised of a vacant commercial kitchen downstairs and apartments upstairs. The applicant has requested rezoning from R1 to B2 to allow commercial use of the bottom floor. Given the residential character of the surrounding block and the lack of support from the comprehensive plan, staff recommends denial and the Planning Commission concurred.
Any questions by council? Hearing none, without objection, it will be referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets at 5 p.m. next Thursday.
Item 6 is the first reading of an ordinance rezoning the properties addressed as 4208, 4210, 4212 Barnwell Avenue, Charleston County TMS numbers 470-1200-023, 024, and 098, from R3 Mobile Home Residential to R2 Multifamily Residential in Council District 7.
Okay. So this is the proposed rezoning of 3 individual parcels on Barnwell Avenue. The properties are currently zoned R3, which is mobile home residential, and are proposed for rezoning to R2, multifamily residential. The property owner is William C. Eberhard, and the applicant is Dietrich Stelius. The area of the properties altogether total of approximately 15,000 square feet, annexed in 1972, and a part of Council District 7. This is a picture, an area of the property showing their location. The Rivers Avenue is just to the sort of lower left of the screen, and the lots back up to a finger of Noisette Creek, essentially. And the next map shows the zoning of the parcels. These 3 parcels are zoned R3, as are all the other parcels shown in the brown color. The parcel to the rear of one of the subject parcels is zoned R2, which is the request this evening. And this is the future land use map for the property, showing that all of the parcels that you saw on the previous slide zoned R3 are proposed in the comprehensive plan to move to multifamily residential development. So this is the proposed rezoning of 2 vacant lots and 1 lot developed with a duplex from R3 to R2. Although the subject properties in the immediate neighborhood are zoned R3, the future land use map does designate the larger area for multifamily residential development. Accordingly, staff recommended approval, and the Planning Commission concurred unanimously.
Any questions by council? Without objection, it's also referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets at 5 p.m. next Thursday. We have one request to speak, and that will be Mr. Anthony G. Bryant.
Apologies to council for not attending the last meeting I was supposed to go to, but your fine officials assisted my grandmother with her passing this Saturday, and we appreciate even the prayer and appreciate Teddy Pry and his church for all they did for her and her moving forward. Basically, it's just really a notice to the mayor regarding the letter Brady had given me in terms of the 6702 by the IRS notice, which deals with a tax code regarding hate speech in terms of my public comments I've made through critical times within the community. Also, 6109 of the IRS code is when a citizen has an error within their name to their bank, which is Bank of America, my escrow account at the time, Wells Fargo, First Federal Charleston, which is now South State Bank across the street, and my concern for redlining at that time within the community. So a deep concern that a comment made to CALEA, Commission Law Enforcement Agency, Inc., was not on record in the courts in terms of our concern for equal protection and due process for all citizens in terms of that. Jeff Sessions put in a post in the Courier regarding black extreme groups. And so I want Senator Scott to define what black extreme groups mean in terms of what hate means, and in terms of what hate crime means, which is no hate crime in South Carolina. There's no law of hate crime in South Carolina. So what we need to do is to take all the information we have and pass the Judicial Committee in the Senate and House this session to discuss seriously about a hate crime bill being developed to protect everybody involved in terms of their protection due process. That's been the work I've done for years. Also, the abuse of the Justice Department's NADDIS system, an RFS system, which deals with, by and large, census tracts within the African-American community, which has been used since 1970, 86, and 94. The work will still continue to be done by me and others on that issue. So we're deeply concerned about the due process model as the standard model for observation of the behaviors of all citizens, and that will not change. You can make contact with John Tecklenburg and Perry Keith Waring, because they told me to come to North Charleston. Well, I'm in North Charleston now. You need to give them a call back because I let it back from the city of Charleston with no zip code at all. At least Brady gave me 29203, which is in the Midlands, and we thank the Quins and others for their fine support. Now, we want to close with this. It's called the Base Load Review Act. And rather the cities will be negatively affected by the Base Load Review Act, and it's $6 billion is going to be lost on this plant. It's going to put all the mayors ask what's going to happen with the community in terms of their rates, how will it be affected, and those issues are serious right now in terms of moving forward in the future. And the pension fund as well. I think your city employee did a fine job with the editorial he had done in the paper regarding the pension fund. Thanks for your time and for your service.
Thank you, my friend. Anything else to come before the body? Just in case some of us don't make it to the next council meeting, I do want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to make sure that everybody has a Merry Christmas, a very good holiday season with their families. I would like to say that to notify council that following other municipalities in the area and the county, we will be, City Hall will be closed on Friday the 22nd, Monday the 25th, and Tuesday the 26th. And that will be our holiday for our employees for the Christmas holidays. Council meeting next week will be on Thursday. We will have the committee meetings at 5 p.m. and the council meeting will follow. Anything else to come before us? Have a good night.